I think what Jackson gets from it, even if he doesn't really realise it, is that he's a fantastic ambassador for people with a disability. Jackmail is a courier business that picks up business mail from post office boxes in the inner south of Canberra and delivers that mail to the business premises. And for a couple or 3 or 4 places, it will also sometimes take the mail back to the post office for posting. Philippe, my Jackmail driver, is French, and he is fantastic. I just say he's gold. He's absolute gold. He really, really likes Jackson, and Jackson really, really likes him. They've got a relationship now that's super strong. He really appreciates Jackson, and he reads his moods, he enjoys his company. He does the job so well. I just can't, there are actually no words of praise high enough for Philippe. He's had no disability-specific training, but to me, that's irrelevant. He was a man who came and applied for the job with the right attitude. And you know, you can teach everything else, but you can't really teach the attitude. He's very respectful of Jackson and of me, and he's great.
My role in Jackmail is to provide a good environment for Jackie to look as professional as he can be, making sure that he's enjoying his work, and also that he can communicate and participate in the work every day. This is my role.
At 8:30, Jackson and Philippe leave the house and get in the van. They drive. We do 5 post offices. They drive to the first post office in Western Creek and pick up the mail and deliver it to the Arana School. They then drive to Deakin West Post Office, where we have about 8 businesses who all use Deakin West. And the Deakin West Post Office people are fabulous. They have all the bags packed ready for Philippe to pick them up. He picks up the bags. They get in the car, deliver all of those, and then go to, so we do Manuka Post Office, Kingston Post Office, Curtin Post Office. And so it's a matter of post office delivery, post office many deliveries, post office delivery. So we do a certain geographic area. At the very end of the run, Philippe stops at Deakin West Post Office and drops all of those 8 mail bags off to the post office so they can fill them ready for pickup in the morning. And then he goes home with Jackson, and Philippe's job then is to give Jackson lunch and get him ready for the afternoon. So it's completely routine and sort of regimented, so we make the best use of the time in the geographic area.
Our clients, they interact with Jackson, depend of everybody. When the first few times when they start with us, they will be very caring about him. They will think that they need to be careful about, you know, where he has to go or so on. And in general, after a couple of weeks, they worked out that we just come in, we give them the mail, and they have to be the same with everybody else, and it's nice to see that at the end they would just say, hi Jackson, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jack. Hello. Thank you. Very busy today. Thank you.
That's not for you.
For me, it's nice to think that they are not doing anything different because it's him.
Good morning, Jack. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you.
We really appreciate Jack's service here. We love to see Jack come to visit us every day, and he's a great help. Before we had Jack, we had to go and deliver the mail, pick it up ourselves, but now he saves us that trouble. And we get the bonus of seeing Jack.
Good work, Jack. Thank you.
No, we go the other way now.
Thanks for the.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks. See you. You're welcome this way now.
Customer service to a small business like Jackmail is paramount. If you do not provide good customer service, you will lose your customers. So Jackmail provides excellent customer service. We have not missed one delivery this is our 8th year of operation. So after 7.5 years, we haven't missed one delivery. And we are always on time. I think we've been late once when the car broke down. We still got the mail through, but it broke down. Another time there was a car crash. Somebody smashed up the back of the Jackmail van and actually wrote it off. And the last 2 deliveries that day were late. A friend of mine delivered them by bicycle, if I remember correctly. But the mail did get through, and the customers do really like the service we provide.
Jackson's just awesome. He comes every morning. He's always happy and smiling. We talk about sometimes what he's doing that weekend or what he's doing that week, and he's so awesome, and we love having him come every morning. And when I'm not here, the other ladies love to come and do the work for me so that they can just say hi to Jackson. And for Australian pork, we need to send a lot of paperwork to our farmers and to the pig producers. So every morning we rely on Jack to come and collect our mail.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Do you have cool plans today, Jack?
Working.
Always working.
How did it start? Jackmail started because I had an idea about a job that Jackson could do, and I worked on that idea until Jackson graduated from school, and then we had Jackmail. Actually, there was a lot of work involved in it, but it happened because I had the idea and then I did the work, with assistance, of course.
How long before he left school did you have the idea for?
I'm pretty sure I had the idea when he was about 16, maybe 4 years before he finished school. I went to the school to ask them to assist me by giving him work experience, and actually the school was pretty bad at that, so that didn't really happen. I mean, it did happen in the last year, but the last year was the year before he finished school was the year when we did all the really hard stuff about setting up the business and getting the van and working out the forms and starting to try and get some business and getting an ABN and all of that sort of stuff. I chose a courier service because it was the only job that I thought Jackson could do based on his abilities and preferences and limitations. So it did take me a long time to think of a job for Jackson, and because he can't drive a car, obviously, but he can go in a car and listen to music at the same time and walk and carry bags and greet people. I thought that would be a good job for him, but the hard part about it was that I knew it had to be a regular and predictable courier service and not one where we took calls every day and raced out to do odd deliveries here and there, because I wanted Jackson to see the same. I wanted it to be routine for him.
What I like about working with Jackson is when I started, it was mostly because it was a different kind of community work. It was really about being actively involved in the social environment. That was my first attraction to the work. Now it's very simple, we are very good mates now, and for that it's much more about just working, doing our job all day around, and well, it's more like him now, we are teammates. I know it may be a little bit a stereotype to say like, but it's true, we're just teammates and we are just working together.
So Jackson's got a rather rare syndrome called Phelan-McDermid syndrome. That's named after two doctors, Dr. Katie Phelan and Dr. somebody McDermid. He's got a piece missing off the 22nd chromosome. And even though there's a spectrum of people with that same condition, some of whom are a lot more capable than Jackson. Jackson's right down at the most profound end of that spectrum.
Yeah, when someone asks me if it's not a tokenistic work for Jackson to do Jackmail, I let them know that we are doing a service for businesses, and businesses really need our service in time and every day. And the job he's doing is a real job.
I have learned that if you find the right support worker and you employ them for the right reasons, they will stay with you. I have learnt that Jackson can hold down a job for 7.5 years. I've learnt a lot about mail. I've learnt a lot about post office boxes.
What I've learned from Jackson, that the first thing, it's he knows much more than the way he acts. He is much more involved in things. Maybe he's not necessarily someone who can participate with his hands, but in fact he knows exactly what's happening, and we find a way to communicate which is much more about touch and eye contact. And I find out it's easier to communicate with someone like that than with words, in fact, because you need to go straight to the point, and him will be very straightforward with me too, if he needs something or what he needs. It's a very clear, and for that, the more it taught me that there is a way of communicating, another way of communicating, another way to be able to show that you are upset or frustrated with something, and not having to be loud about it or so on.
Jackson gets a life of activity and people and purpose out of Jackmail. So I think he really likes everybody greeting him when he walks into every office.
Hi Jackson, how you going? Got the mail out of the bag, got everything we need here.
That's it. We are
Yes,
going?
Jackson? You're good, but
Yes,
still
we are going.
pressure.
All right. That's it. You take the bag.
Got the bag,
You want to press the button again?
press the button here to go out. You want to press it?
Yeah, we'll press it.
There you go.
You have to do it.
Gotta do it. There
That's
we go,
it.
I can open the door.
Thank
There
you.
we go, no worries.
See you. Have a good day.
See you,
See you.
Jackson. Have a good day.
Come on, Jackson.
See you guys.
There is not a lot of challenge working with Jackson for me now, because I know him so well. When in the first few weeks of my work, he was pretty difficult with me because we didn't know each other at all, and it took him a month to accept me, which it showed me that he can decide with who he wants to work. And but since then, no, there is no many challenge. I don't find him challenging at all. In fact, it's a very easy way to work, or is very easy to work with.
I think expectations can make or break a life. I think the lower your expectations, the lesser life a person will have. So raising your expectations, raising the bar, lifting your eyes above what might be considered the norm or the least you can do is absolutely vital. And it doesn't matter how high your expectations are. You might have to come down a little bit, but if you aim high and you come down a little bit, you might still be reaching high. But if your expectations are low and you don't even reach the low ones, then you end up in the gutter.